Mr. Johnson, a frail 75-year-old, lived alone in a small village. His wife had left him years ago, and with no children to care for him, he was left to fend for himself. As time went by, Mr. Johnson's health began to decline. He struggled to cook, clean, and even feed himself. His once tidy home became a mess, and he was on the verge of giving up. One harsh winter evening, as the snow fell heavily outside, Mr. Johnson lay on his cold floor, too weak to move. He had gone without food for days, and his body was shutting down. Just as all hope seemed lost, he heard a faint knock on the door. With his last bit of strength, Mr. Johnson crawled to the door and opened it. To his surprise, a little girl, no more than 5 years old, stood on his porch, shivering in the cold. She looked up at Mr. Johnson with big round eyes and said, "Mister, my mommy told me to check on you. Are you okay?" Mr. Johnson was taken aback by the little girl's kindness. He nodded weakly, and she quickly ran inside, calling out for her mother. The little girl's mother, a kind-hearted woman, rushed in and found Mr. Johnson on the floor. She quickly called for an ambulance, and soon Mr. Johnson was receiving the medical attention he desperately needed. As Mr. Johnson recovered in the hospital, the little girl and her mother visited him every day, bringing him food, warmth, and companionship. Slowly but surely, Mr. Johnson's health began to improve, and his heart, once filled with loneliness, was now filled with gratitude and love. The little girl had brought light into Mr. Johnson's darkest hour, and he was forever grateful for her kindness and compassion. From that day on, Mr. Johnson, the little girl, and her mother formed an unlikely family, one that was built on love, kindness, and the power of human connection.